In this video, we're going to talk about graphing linear equations. So a linear equation in two variables is an equation in the form of ax plus by is equal to c, where a, b, and c are real numbers, with a and b are not both 0. So I've written out some examples of linear equations in two variables, and I've written some nonlinear equations. This is not a linear equation because the exponent power with the x is 2. This is not a linear equation in two variables because you have a variable of x in the denominator. And this is not a linear equation in two variables because you have variables under a radical. All right, so a solution to an equation in two variables is any ordered pair x comma y whose coordinates make the equation true. An equation in two variables will have infinitely many solutions, but not all ordered pairs will be a solution to an equation. Okay, we want to determine whether each ordered pair is a solution to the linear equation. Okay, with the ordered pair 0, 12, I'm going to put in 0 for x for this equation and y for 12. Three times 0 is 0, and 0 minus 12 is negative 12. Negative 12 does not equal 12, so the ordered pair is not a solution. Okay, let's try this here. X will be 1, y will be negative 9. Minus a negative is a positive. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 does equal 12, so this ordered pair is a solution to this equation in two variables. Okay, now what I would like to be able to do is I'm going to be graphing linear equations using tables. So, the idea here is I'm going to pick 3 random x values, solve the equation for y, and plot those 3 points on the coordinate plane. So I'm going to create a table for this now. So when I pick my x values, I'm going to pick a value that is negative. I'm going to pick 0, and I'm going to pick an x value that's positive. So now I'll substitute these values into the equation, figure out the y coordinate, and then write it as an ordered pair. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Add the 2. That's negative y is equal to 6. Divide by negative 1. And y is equal to 6. So my ordered pair here is negative 1, 6. Okay, put in 0. 2 times 0 is 0. Divide by negative 1. So my ordered pair is 0, negative 4. Now, plug in 1 for x. So my ordered pair here is 1, negative 2. Now, every time you graph, you want to make sure you label your axes. So I've labeled them x and y, and you want to label what you're going to go by in slashes. Here I'm going to go by 1s. Okay, so negative 1, 6. That means I'm going to go to the left 1 and down 6. 0 and then down 4. And then 1, negative 2, I'm going to go to the right 1 and down 2. I'm going to connect the dots to form my line. Make sure that you include arrows going in both directions because a line does go forever in both directions. Okay, let's do the next example then. So I've already set up my table here. So again, what I will do is I will pick one value of x that's negative. I'll pick one that's 0, and I'll pick one that's positive. Again, you can pick any x values that you want. I just choose to use these values. Plug in. My first ordered pair is negative 1, negative 5. Plug in 0. Now plug in 1. Okay, so now I'm going to plot these 3 points on the coordinate plane. Again, notice my x and y axes are labeled. Again, I'm going to go by ones. So -1 and down 5. 0 and down 2. And then 1, 1. So I'm going to connect the dots to form my line. Okay, let's take a look at the next example then. Now, notice your denominator here is 3 and it's being multiplied by x. I don't want to have to work with fractions if possible. So values of x, I'd like to pick that maybe the 3 would divide out in the denominator. So in this case, I'm going to pick x being -3. I'm still going to pick x being 0, and I'm going to pick x being +3. If the denominator was 4, I'd probably pick values of -4 and 4. If the denominator here was 5, I'd probably pick -5 and 5. Okay, let's plug in. -1/3 times a -3 is +1, and 1 plus 4 is 5. Plugging in 0, now let's plug in +3. -1/3 times 3 is -1. And -1 plus 4 is 3. Okay, so I'm going to plot these 3 points on the coordinate plane. Again, notice my x and y axes are labeled. We're going to go by ones again. So now I'm going to go -3 and up 5. 0 and up 4. And then 3 and up 3. Now I'm going to connect my dots to form the line. And we're done here.